Welcome to a very special video. I was lucky enough to be on a very special flight recently on a stunning aircraft across the Atlantic. Stay tuned for all the details, including how I booked in this comprehensive review of my favourite US airline.
First flight across the Atlantic from Amsterdam to New York JFK.
Yes, welcome to another video, and over my shoulder, the first ever Jetblue flight to leave from Amsterdam. We're off to New York. Enjoy. It's been a long time since I flew on an inaugural flight. Well, except that one time I accidentally got on one last year in Peru, and I'm really looking forward to this. Jetblue is my favourite American airline, and I love that they're expanding their reach. Amsterdam is their newest and longest flight. There's a lot of competition across the Atlantic, so let's hope the route does well. So one of the things you'll need to know if you're flying JetBlue is they do not have a lounge facility. They don't have their own lounges in their own hubs in the US, and they don't have outstation lounges at places like here in Amsterdam. So we're going to make our own fun today. Finally on the way to the gate. The aircraft arrived this morning from New York. The inaugural flight from New York, of course, arrives before the inaugural from Amsterdam. But here is the aircraft right now, and isn't she a beauty? Our A321LR is a special long-range variant of the A321. It's 2 years old and only operates the long international flights that JetBlue offer. Really exciting waiting at the gate here in Schiphol. It looks like they've got some decorations around the gate, and perhaps there'll be some speeches or an event just before we leave. Personally, I'm hoping for a little gift or a souvenir to take with me to remember this flight. But before we get on board, we've got to do the boring things and talk about how much this cost and how I booked it. I used JetBlue's own site to book my tickets, but one thing you should know, as is often the case, one-way airfares are quite expensive, nearly $2,000 one way in this case. If you tag on a return, the outward leg drops by over $500 in price, with a return in economy available at just over $200. That's a saving of about $300 on the single fare. And yes, I am going to take that flight and review the economy product soon. One of the big selling points of JetBlue Mint is the food, and that will play a big part in this trip, so it's time to introduce today's sponsor. HelloFresh is an absolutely amazing meal kit company. You order your meals a week in advance and it all comes packaged up like this. Everything nicely packed together, one bag per meal. HelloFresh has been part of my meal planning for a few years now. Keeping a healthy diet while I'm away for weeks eating airline meals is tough. So the flexibility to order on the move and have the meals arrive when I get home is a great way to hit the ground running again by eating healthy food. You don't have to order a whole week's worth either. Maybe I'll eat out 1 or 2 days a week, or maybe I'll cook from scratch, or perhaps I'm even heading away again on my travels. Again, the flexibility is key. The other thing I love about HelloFresh is the variety. I've tried so many new dishes, so many things I'd never think of making from scratch myself. I've got a sticky honey pork rice bowl for my dinner tonight, and I know that none of you on the channel are going to believe that I'm a gourmet chef. The instructions are so simple and easy to follow that even a travel blogger won't get lost. There are different themes to the recipes too. This week I'm mixing it up with one rapid dish and a couple of family ones. There's pork-free, vegetarian, calorie-smart, pescatarian, and loads more categories to choose from. And here's this evening's dinner. I can't wait. Click the link in the description below to get 60% off your first box and 25% off the next 8 boxes, and start enjoying HelloFresh today.
I don't know whether you all knew, but this is our first flight across the Atlantic from Amsterdam to New York JFK.
Oh wow, is that chocolate? That's chocolate. Yeah, I'll have that one, thank you. Thank you.
Please keep the area clear.
Hi. Thank you so much, thank you, thank you. All right, here we go, JetBlue Amsterdam to New York, and I've got some free gifts, let's go. Hi. Hi. Good afternoon. Hiya. Oh. Hello.
1F on the left hand side.
I got it, thank you. Along with 114 economy seats, this aircraft has 20 closing door business class Mint suites, and in the front row, just 2 premium extra large Mint Studio suites, in my opinion, the best seat offered by any American carrier. It is huge and even has space for a friend to sit next to you and eat. We'll get into the details later, but for now, it's just great to be back in this huge suite. It's an inaugural flight, so you can expect the airline to put its best people on the flight crew, and I'm soon given the cocktail list and the wine list, as well as the menu for today's flight to New York. You can now order meals on the touchscreen. I think this is new, and as I wasn't hungry, I decided to skip lunch. No, of course not. JetBlue's food is really good, and I was so excited to see what they had in store for us. I've got myself a glass of champagne and elderflower, and I'm looking forward to a great flight. As always, thanks so much for coming with me. And here's to a great trip. We climb up off Amsterdam's Polderbaan runway to the north and are soon heading across to the USA. Incidentally, the 321 is very slightly slower and flies slightly lower than some wide bodies. Our flight today is 3,634 miles long and will take a fairly long 8 hours and 29 minutes due to a strong headwind. The studio suite really is excellent. It is still business class, but for $299 you can select to sit here on this long route if you already have a business class fare. It's well worth it for a special occasion like this, I think, even though the regular Mint suites are still very good and competitive with anything else flying from Europe to the USA. One thing which sometimes gets missed, these studio suites don't just have far better space and storage over the regular Mint suites, but also have the largest TV screen of any airline flying in this market. There aren't many seats out there with 2 tables. This one's handy for a buddy to dine with you, and there's one for yourself. Or just use the whole setup yourself and really spread out. Oh, and yes, there are individual air vents. If you watch this channel often, you know that I love an airline's signature cocktail, and I'm trying JetBlue's today. It's the mint condition, which comes with gin, ginger, lime, cucumber, and mint. You can have it made with vodka if you want. Not a huge fan of cucumber. Let's see how this goes home. It's very sweet. It is delicious. I'm not a big fan of cucumber, as I just said, but ginger and lime really carrying that through. Can't wait to try the others now. JetBlue has free Wi-Fi for everyone on board, which is a great selling point, and it's also fast and reliable. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram to get real-time updates on all my trips as and when they happen. Isn't it great that you can spot aircraft from the window and just see where they're going? JetBlue serves meals tapas style. You choose 3 dishes from 5, and I have to say this meal was excellent. Tender and flavourful steak, a fresh salad and delicious chicken paillard, all washed down with a glass of red wine. JetBlue doesn't quite have the same pull with frequent flyers due to a lack of lounge access and not being a full global alliance member, but the food and service are really top drawer regardless of the cabin you fly in my experience.
The big question on everyone's lips, does the ice cream pass the Delta Airlines test? Let's find out.
The aesthetics of the cabin are just incredible when it's dark. You can customise the lighting and close the door of the suite too. It's a really great place to spend a day flying to the States. And while we're here, don't forget to subscribe. Click that button and touch that bell and you'll be notified of all my future video uploads and join a growing community of hundreds of thousands of other trip report enthusiasts just like you. JetBlue has a novel approach to amenity kits. I've never seen a full body wash wipe in one before, and these sleep and caffeine gummies are an interesting addition. I don't recommend the caffeine ones for taste though. Yuck, give me a coffee any day. The amenities are really high quality and the noise cancelling headsets are very good too. The entertainment had a fun section dedicated to the Amsterdam launch, and I did have to laugh at Gold member being included. If you've seen the film, you'll know. I decided to watch the revamped version of 90s classic Saved by the Bell, and ugh, yes, please TV executives come up with something new, he says in his second Mint Studio review on the channel. Anyway, this is the first leg of a round-the-world journey, taking in 15 flights and heading to Japan and Korea en route, both new countries for me, so do stick around for some incredible trains and flights. JetBlue, in my opinion, do all the basic things well. I've flown with them 20 times, and every time I've been impressed. Their crews are excellent, the product is thoughtful, and if I could earn BA miles with them, I'd choose them every single time. By the way, the maple old-fashioned cocktail is delicious and thankfully not as strong as United's. The bed is excellent for a proper sleep or just a nap. There's 6 feet 8 inches of bed in every suite, and the studio has extra flat surface with that buddy seat next to you if you're a side sleeper.
No doubt you've heard of the cliche of the tricky second album for a musician or a pop star. Well, airlines travelling to the east coast of the US from Europe have the concept of the tricky second meal service.
I chose soup and endive salad, and to be honest, the soup was excellent, but the salad was the only disappointment about the flight. A bit flaccid. Anyway, my time in the air is coming to an end for today, and a chamomile tea is a great way to take the edge off several drinks and to prepare to collect myself for immigration. After 7 hours of solid cloud across the ocean, finally, we're afforded some good views of the ground. JetBlue Mint is just excellent, and the studio is the icing on the cake. My flight was superb, and I'm so glad JetBlue is offering good competition across the Atlantic. And what's more, they use Terminal 5 at JFK, which has fewer international passenger arrivals than some of the more infamous terminals. So I did not queue at all on entering the USA, and I was collecting my bag 20 minutes after touchdown, which is my second best arrival experience yet in the States. Thank you so much for watching the video, and don't forget to click the link in the description to get 60% off your first box and 25% off your next 8 boxes, and start enjoying HelloFresh right now. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.